Welcome! In this video, we will cover how to create a work to do and define the default settings within it. Once you have logged into your Field Central web account, click on Settings, Services, and then Services and Work to Dos. You can either use an existing category and use the arrow to expand it, or you can create a new service category using the green plus button in the top right corner. Under the category, click the green plus button again to add a work to do. The first step will be naming the work to do. Example would be startup. Then provide the number of visits which will be associated. The user can then add a description if they would like, and then if the work is taxable, they will check the taxable box. QuickBooks full name is how this work to do will connect to QuickBooks when the invoices are sent over. QuickBooks prepaid line item ties into contracts when the item is marked as prepaid. If the user has an assessment they would like to tie to the work to do, they will select it from the drop-down menu provided. Providing an invoice class will be helpful for reporting, as this would be a larger bucket you would assign to this specific work to do. Example would be assigning startup and winterization to a seasonal class, or assigning a service call to a repair class. The next section we will go over will be the trip charge elements in the gray highlighted box on the top right. Provide the trip charge name and description if applicable. The additional charge per trip is a minimum flat rate to charge and the amount of time that charge covers. Example, $200 for the first 60 minutes, then an hourly rate after that. The minimum charge per trip is an overall minimum that doesn't specifically apply to a trip charge. Select the charge for drive time checkbox if anything in trip charge is completed. Charge for materials checkbox if charging for materials. The final section will be covering the fields in the lower half of the window. Estimated man hours is how long the visit should take / how long to block off the schedule. For billing type, the user has 3 options. 1. Non-billable, means it will not create an invoice. 2. Flat rate, just one charge no matter how long it takes. 3. Time and materials, which is basically an hourly rate. Depending on if the user selects flat rate or time and materials, the appropriate box needs to be completed below with the dollar amount. Helper rate by hour is the additional charge per hour for a helper tech on site. Include leave behind method. This applies to lawn care only. If the user selects auto roll incomplete visits, any incomplete visits will move over to the beginning of the next day, Tuesday through Sunday. Sunday visits do not get moved to Monday. Schedule type, reoccurring or non-reoccurring, mostly non-reoccurring for irrigation. For lawn care, they have to be reoccurring in order to use Route Builder. Invoice details types will determine what information shows up on the invoices in the description box. Company time, how long the techs were on site. Company time with rates, how long techs were on site plus the hourly rate. Time by rate types, breaks down the primary rate and the helper rate. Time by rate types with rates, breaks down primary rate and helper rate. Employee time in and out will show the employee name and their exact time on site. Work to do color and confirmation color are used to differentiate the visits on the schedule with color blocks. They also show the same colors on the Field app. Ready to give it a go? Follow these steps the next time you are creating a work to do.